Maria 46. We at 46 and 8.
All right. Good morning, everybody. We at chapter 46 and verse 8. So we're going to get right on into it.
Before we get started, your questions, did you want to ask them now or you going to wait till
I'll wait.
Okay.
Let me finish because
Okay.
I don't even remember the questions.
Oh, I wrote them down on my phone though. But yeah.
See, don't worry about it. All right. Let me see. I got to get to the chapter now. We are almost completed. And this is Genesis
46 and 8.
46, verse 8.
Yeah, we only got like 4 more chapters of Genesis to go.
So this is going to be what it is. We'll see how it goes. So now they are in Egypt. And going into Egypt, we now have to do a census. We have to do accounting. Okay? So there's always an accounting of where something start, where it end, when it change, when it go in, when it come out. There is an accounting. So now it's time for us to do our accounting. Okay, let's start again. Here we go.
These are the names of the sons of Israel who came into Mizraim, Yaaqub and his sons.
Okay.
The firstborn of Yaaqub, Reuben. And the sons of Reuben, Hanuk, Palu,
Palu,
Hezron, and
Carmi.
The sons of Simeon, Jemuel, Yamin, Okad, Yakin, Zokar, and Shaul. He is also called Zimri, who made the work of the Canaanites
in Shittim. So you have to understand people's names change. Right? You do this thing, your name changed to Shulus. You can't accept this woman. You see, your name can change. You do something here, oh yeah, this Zimri. And it changed.
Right.
But there is a record so that you can continue.
Okay. And the sons of Lawi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari.
Right. So Levi have 3 houses, and then they have one head of the house, the kingship of the house, the high priesthood. But there's only 3 houses of Levi, right? Because even the high priesthood, this is a branch from Kehath. So while all of them work in their places, in their orders, in their services of the priesthood, from Kehath comes the crown, the kingship of the priesthood. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And it have an order. There's one king, but he have many assistants. And from here, we will replace him in his chair.
And the sons of Yeyada, Onan, Salah, Pharetz, and Zarach. But and Onan died on account of their evil work in the land of Canaan. And Salah and Zarach had no children in the land of Canaan. But the sons of Pharetz who went down to Mitzrayim were Hezron and Shamul.
So when I tell you the Most High, when he want to erase something, he stopped the buck right where he want to stop it.
I never knew there was a fourth son called Zarak.
Yeah, Zerach. Yeah, his father's in Zerach.
Oh, yes, the twins.
The
Yes,
twins.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
when you see
Yeah.
fathers in Zerach, right, you forget Salah, but Salah had no kids.
Kids. And Zarak had no kids.
Right. Now Zerach, he may get kids later in the coming out.
But at the time,
But Salah
don't know what became of Salah.
Salah gets erased, forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Most High said, don't marry Cain and Eve. He will erase you from the genealogy. It's how it is. You don't like it? I'm just telling you what it is. It ain't about what you like. This is what it is. Continue.
The sons of Issachar, sages and masters of reasoning.
See? See?
So Issachar.
It's masters of reasonings. Right?
Interesting.
Everybody will go try to ask them about how things unfold and this. They wouldn't answer. They know, but they wouldn't answer. They understand it, but they don't answer. Okay, so now let's see.
Were their names were Tola, Pua, Iob, and Shimron.
Yep. Next.
The sons of Zebulun, merchants, masters of commerce, nourishing their brethren. The sons of Issachar, and receiving a reward like theirs. And their names were Sered, Elon, and Yalio.
All right. So let's take a look at Zebulun. There's a tie there. There's a connection.
Yes.
So when it says they are masters and merchants, they are also masters of the sea. So when I said the port, right, of the ships and the commerce that will happen, this will be in the hand of one of his sons. This comes from this instruction. Okay? And the sons of Issachar, they have a similar relationship.
Yes,
right?
I see that.
So it's to benefit the rest of us, it's not a benefit to nobody else. So when I said they don't like to give answers, they're not giving answers to fools when they are masters of reasoning and they have reason. This is to profit us nothing because this person is not worth talking to. See? Reasoning. Continue.
These are the sons of Leah, whom she bare unto Yaaqub in Padam Aram, with Dinah, his daughter, all the souls of his sons and his daughter, 33.
Okay, so from Lena's house, they had grown from this one man, this one woman, to now 33 people. Let's continue.
And the children of God, Saphon, Hagi, Suni, Esbon, Iri, Arodi, and Arili. The children of Asher.
No. Hold on, wait. Give me a second.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to understand.
Sunni.
You see this word Sunni?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Sunni.
Same as in Ishmael's house, Sunni.
They have Sunnis.
So the name is very common in the family.
It's in the family. It's all recycled over and over. Okay, continue.
The children of Ashur, Yimna, Yisba, Yisbi, Beriah, and Zarak, their sister, who was carried away while alive into the Garden of Eden because she had announced to Yaaqub that Yosef still lived. It was she who saved the inhabitants of the city Abil from the judgment of death in the days of Joab.
In the days of Job.
Wow.
Okay? So let's take a look. So there was this one sister Sarat. She did not go down into the captivity. She went and stayed here on this side of Jordan. And it's the Garden of Eden. So she stayed on over on this side.
Yes, this is the Garden of Eden. Yes,
Okay?
Jordan. Because, okay, in the days of Joab, the sons of Berea who went down into Mitzrayim were Heber and Machiel.
Right. So this Ebed, again named after Ebed. This is
Right.
another recycling of the names and Malakil. Malakil, this is like King of Allah. Okay? Oh, Allah is King.
These are the children of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and she bare them to Yaaqub 16 souls.
16 souls. All right.
The sons of Rael, wife of Jacob, Joseph and Benjamin. And to Joseph were born two sons in the land of Mizraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Dinah, educated in the house of Potipharah, prince of Tanis, bare Manasseh and Ephraim. The sons of Benjamin, 10. And their names according to the interpretation of Joseph his brother: Bela, who was swallowed up from him; Becher, who was the chosen of his mother; Eshbal, who went into captivity; Gera, who became a sojourner in a foreign land; Naaman, who was pleasant and honorable; Aki, who had a twin brother, the son of his mother; Rosh, who was a chief in his father's house; Mupin, who was sold into Muph, Chupin, because at the time that he was separated from him, he was a son of 18 years and was eligible for marriage.
Kupa.
Kupa thalamus
Nuptialis.
nuptialis.
So thalamus nuptialis.
Thalamus
Which is
nuptialis.
going to the chuppah, so the wedding tent, thalamus nuptialis. Okay?
So the chuppah is actually
The tent,
a tent.
chuppah, wedding tent, the chuppah.
That's what we saw the other day when we were riding like a tent, like.
Yeah. And Arid, who descended into Mitzrayim.
These are the children of Rael who were born unto Yaaqub, all the souls, 14. The sons of Den, able men or armed, and merchants, of whose numbers there is no end or sum. And the sons of Naphtali, Yakzeel, Guni, Yetzer, and Shillim. These are the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban gave to Rael, his daughter, and she bare them unto Jacob, all the souls, 7. All the souls which went into Mitzrayim with Yaaqub, which had come forth from his thigh, besides the wives of Yaaqub's sons, all the souls were 66.
Okay, so now these are all the souls and they 60 and 6. Okay? Sons, wives, children. Well, just mostly the men of the house because you're only going to count the men.
Men, right.
And here you go. These 66. Now it's going to continue because we have to reach the number 70. So let us continue.
What's interesting, Dan's sons aren't named. That's interesting.
It did.
And the sons of Dan.
Yeah, they didn't mention Dan.
Then mention their names. Interesting. But the sons of Yosef who were born to him in Mizraim were 2 souls. And Joseph, who was in Mizraim, and Jochebed, the daughter of Lawi, who was born among the hills in their journey of Mizraim. The sum of all the souls of the house of Yaaqub who came into Mizraim, 70. Jochebed was counted?
No. Well,
Jochebed?
yeah, so Jochebed gives birth to the daughter of Levi, and that's counted. 70. So then why they count Jochebed?
Yeah.
I tell you why they count Jochebed, okay? I'm not going to let y'all sit around and cook forever. All right? So Jochebed is counted. What are they counting, first of all? They're not counting outsiders who are not of the seed of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob. That's not counted when they're doing the counting. So if they got wives that are outside and the children are mixing in, they're not counting them. This is the pure line, and this is what's counted, right? So you see, you have Onan, and Salah, but they all cut off. Bani, who is fathered, he now have his sons, they counted. This everybody who is in covenant, of blood, of covenant. The Most High is tracking a pure genealogy from Adam. If you go out and you pervert it, you went out, you perverted it. Now Jochebed is born, and like Dinah, she is also counted. Joseph and his sons counted, right? Why? The redemption of Dinah's daughter who was raped brings back, and this is a redemption now, Redeemer kinsman law is in effect. Those sons counted as pure blood. So that takes you up to 3. Dan's sons not counted, but they are part of it.
Right.
They mentioned, right? What happened? I don't know. You have to check with Dan's wife, see what happens, but there's always a number not counted.
Right.
So you have those men. Then you have now Jochebed, who is and will in the future give birth to Moses and Aaron and Miriam. This is why she's counted among the righteous mothers. She's getting ready to do something phenomenal in the future.
Wow. She was born among the hills.
Right.
And he sent Yada before him to Yosef to indicate the way before him, to subdue the pillars of the earth, and to provide him a house of dwelling in Goshen. And they came to the land of Goshen.
Okay, you want to read that again?
And he sent Yada before him to Yosef to indicate the way.
So if you want to say it, Judah.
Yeah.
So he sent Judah. Just Judah, to indicate, to send the indication, the path or the way into Mitzrayim to the Most High appointed man in going in. Right? Going into the west, going into Mitzrayim, he sent Judah to go in and get A preparation. And what did Judah have to prepare?
To go into Goshina.
To go into Goshina. And he had to prepare what? A house of dwelling. So now you think, oh, when we come out of this captivity, the Most High is going to do it with spaceships and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And the gold city come from the sky. No. He sent me to build a house, a place of dwelling. Where in the dwelling places of a mind? To come here. How you go into captivity, how you get out of captivity. But you know what? Maybe I'm making up a story. We going in. Let's see how the Most High bring them out. When he bring them out, okay? You can hold that idea and see if Moses goes out of captivity by himself, prepare a place to go back into captivity, to then turn around and bring them out. I know. We think it's going to be some kind of mystical thing. The only thing mystical you're going to see is people evaporate because of the bombs. That's what you're going to see. We'll be back right after this.
You know, Robert Shade, as much as we have been reading, we keep seeing repetitiveness. The same thing being done over and over again. There is nothing new. It's the same thing, the same way. The only thing that is different is who he's using at the time to do it. What will it take to understand?
I don't know.
I know, because I saw something today. I saw a young boy driving the sheeps. And guess what he was using? A rod. Beating them. That's what driving. You're going to have to be beat to get in your place.
He was whooping them sheep.
He was young and old. He was getting them to go back into their place. Yep. You know, I don't pray for y'all people. I used to. Not no more. Because you're going to have, as brother always say, you are going to have to get this whooping. Because you just refuse to do what is right because you want to do what you want to do. You're seeking divination. It'd be easy if you could just admit to it so that you can see your guilt and, hopefully change from it or die from it. One or the other. Oh, my goodness. Same old, same old. And Joseph made ready his chariot. No, not the kind in the sky. No. This is a chariot with horses. Yeah. Regular. And went up to meet Israel, his father in Goshen. And his father, before he recognized him, worshiped him, and thus became liable to be shortened or cut off in his years. And he wondered.
Now, hold on. So you say, what happened? He bowed to his son. So it was okay for the brothers to submit and bow to Joseph, because that's what the Most High showed Joseph and said in the dream. The father now comes, not recognizing Joseph, and does the same thing in obedience to him. And the Most High is like, no. First of all, I'm going to give you some rest. You tired. The Most High don't play that. So you always have to honor the Father. The Father does not give the honor to you in this type of way. It's not the same. So now his years is cut short. All right. Now you guys can go ahead on and roll on.
And he wondered and beheld him and fell upon his neck and wept still upon his neck because he had worshipped him. And Israel said to Joseph, if at this time I die.
So he recognized his mistake once he sees his Joseph, and he's like, all right, so if at this time,
yeah,
I check up out of here, because I know I done messed up in the customs and the traditions.
Yeah.
So if at this time I go,
yeah.
Now he's going to tell you what the rest he said.
For with the death that the righteous die, shall I die, after seeing your face, because you are yet alive.
So he's happy and satisfied with all good.
Good.
I messed up, but I'm going to still die with the righteous because I have seen your face alive.
Yes.
Okay?
And Joseph said to his brethren and his father's house, oh, this part I like, I will go up and tell Pharaoh and say to him, my brethren and my father's house from the land of Canaan has come to me. The men are pastors of sheep.
Not in the church. They really have sheep, y'all.
I like this part. For they are men.
Now, see, notice being a man and tending to sheep go together.
That's what the question is. If you're a man of God.
You're a man. You're a man of God. Okay. Where's your sheep? And you say, "Oh, because I'm doing what the Most High and the people listening." No.
Not that kind of pastor.
No. First of all, that's not what the Most High said. Everybody kind of got some sheep somewhere. Your family have sheep, right? If I have a family and we 30 people, if I don't have sheep, I'm the head of the family. One of the sons got sheep. If somebody got some sheep, ain't no way. Ain't no sheep. They men got sheep somewhere.
Yeah.
But you don't have none. So, you kind of voided yourself out from that.
Yeah. The masters of flocks. So you are pastor sheep and a masters
of flock.
A flock.
That's what you're supposed to be, masters of the flocks, the herds. So I know people like to, if you want to say English, you want to say flocks, but for us, it's really simple. It's the herd of birds, a herd of sheep, a herd of cows. It's all the same. Okay.
Farmers. And their sheep and oxen and all which they have bought. They bought it. They had it with them. And it must be when Pharaoh calleth you and saith, tell me what is your work. You must say, I'm sorry, brother, but it's like your demonstration. What are you doing? Working. You gotta be here to understand.
It's an insider thing. I'm here working. What are you talking about?
He's here working. So, where are you?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to come up with a new album. We need more music. Don't we need some other stuff?
No. Instead, I'm going to make a plantation.
Okay.
Okay. Thy servant, you must say, this is what you to say. Your servants have been masters of flocks from our youth until now, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, because the Mizrahi reject all shepherds.
So let's pay attention. So now let's take a look at this. Judah, right? Everybody is traveling back.
Yes.
Judah's task, Joseph is already here.
Yes.
Judah's task is to come in and set up and build the house to receive the family.
Yes.
He does so.
Yes.
Joseph, when he sees them coming, he meets up with them and he tells them, listen, first things first, when you get in here, anybody asks you this question, say these things.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how the people's culture is. What they know, what they think, how they are. Say this. So then you remain separate because they don't accept, they don't like this thing that you're doing. You different. So you cannot be together with everybody. You must be set apart. Everybody's in Cairo, they in Goshen. Now you start to understand what set apart really is. You say you set apart. Problem is, you out there mingled with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When I say you need to come into the house among the family, you look at me and say, no, that's racist. No, it's not. The Irishmen have Ireland. Go there. I'm going home to get my stuff together. I have been away from home for a long time.
Yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead. Just continue reading. So he gave them instructions on how to enter. He prepared a place about where they was going. They gave what was needed and what was supplied for the provision to be built for them where they was going. Why when I say that, where's it found that in the law? I don't know, man. I'm thinking I'm gonna take my money and go down to Kenya. All right. I'm going to Ghana. I'm going to South Africa. I'm going to Congo. I'm going to Tanzania with my money. You know what I'm saying? They get money over there. All right. Go do what you want. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm not the one driving the flock. Not my job. Okay? The person, what up, Ali? The person out there who is sent to you to help you to get back, he's out there, he's doing his job. The people that reach out to him, he remains in contact with them on a regular basis to make sure that, okay, is things progressing? Are you okay? This. We know it's dangerous out there. But you're coming back to the house. The house have to be built before you get here so you can have a place to live when you get here. With the provisions that you need when you get here.
The problem is they just don't like where the house is.
Listen,
that's
Jacob didn't like going down into the west.
That's right.
Now you don't like coming out of the west.
Ain't that something?
Don't worry, we're gonna get this. So here we go. This is the next opportunity.
And Yosef came and informed Pharaoh and said, my father and my brethren, with their sheep, all oxen, and all that they have, are come from the land of Canaan. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And from the extreme of his brethren, he took 5 men, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Ashur, and presented them before Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh said to Joseph's brethren, what is your work? And they said,
So now they asked him, what kind of work do you do? He said, don't tell him you know how to build nothing.
That's right. Just farmers.
Come down here, work independent farming and your markets. That's it.
Mm-hmm. See, they ask, what is your work? Not, who are you? Oh my goodness.
I say, come in, say I'm a tourist.
Yeah.
When you get here, you working on the farm.
Yeah.
He said, come in, tell him you farmers.
Yeah.
You say, I'm not a farmer. I make beats. I'm a content creator. I make TikTok. I'm on YouTube. No! None of this will build or edify the nation. Okay, continue reading.
And they said to Pharaoh, your servants are pastors of sheep, both we and our fathers. And they said to Pharaoh, to dwell in the land are we come, because there is no place of pasture for your servants' sheep. For the famine hath prevailed in the land of Canaan. Let your servants therefore now dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spake to Joseph, saying, your father.
Now listen, so when they go back before Pharaoh, Joseph must remain quiet.
Mm-hmm.
The people have to know how to talk and they can speak freely. So now they not only said, we going down here and we are shepherd people, like Joseph said, they also said, let us go to Goshen, which is the place where Joseph was setting up for them, that Judah went down and put the house at. You know, I have problems with these people. I do. I really have problems with them. I'll be glad when I'm done reading.
I'm in the conversation.
I'm done.
Here.
I want to get finished reading. I just want to be done because they're not learning nothing. I'm just talking, right? They're not learning nothing. If they don't come out and see and touch the soil and work with the sheep, they don't know what I'm talking about. They have zero experience. They hear what I'm saying, they understand the words, but they have no experience in what I'm doing, so they don't know what I'm talking about. It's like a virgin who read a novel about sex. Now she thinks she know.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
All right, continue.
And Pharaoh spake to Joseph, saying, your father and your brethren have come to thee. But listen to how they said that they were pastors of sheep, both we and our fathers. With S.
This
is what we do. Because we're supposed to be like our
So
father Abraham.
any man claiming to be of this family, this is the work we do.
This is what you ought to be doing.
This what we do.
Yes.
I don't know about playing games and I don't know about the stock markets and this. No. I'm a shepherd and a farmer. I don't know what nobody else talking about. This is what me and my fathers do. I love this. If you from the family, from the stock of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaaqub, then this what you do. Trying to drop a hint. I don't know if they're catching it.
No,
Move on. Just move on.
you ain't being who you are.
No. They black. So long as they black and they not Itzaki, the tribe of Isaac, right?
Oh yeah, they.
From the Hashemite race, then they stay lost.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. The land of Mitzrayim is before you. In the fairest part of the land, make your father and your brethren to dwell. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. And if you know any among them men of ability, appoint them masters over my flocks.
Okay, so now they get to tend their flocks and they tend in Pharaoh's flocks. When it came time for the appointment of the land, the permission had to be given from Pharaoh. Why? Joseph don't have no birthright to give no land.
Ta-da!
It has to come from somebody who have the birthright and surety. In this case, it is Pharaoh. He has to give you a portion so that you can abide peacefully. Okay? Joseph just made sure nobody came in talking crazy. Nobody came in with any contention. Everybody is peaceful and of one understanding. We're coming in to do these things. Okay? What we say when we come in, this is this. What we do when we get here is this. Everybody have an understanding. That's how you go in, peacefully. Continue.
And Yosef brought Yaaqub his father and presented him before Pharaoh. And Yaaqub blessed Pharaoh and said, May it please the Almighty that the waters of the Nile, may be replenished, and may the famine pass away from the world in your days. And Pharaoh said to Yaaqub, How many are the days of the years of your life? And Yaaqub answered Pharaoh, The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years.
Now he said the days
Of the years.
of the years of my Hajj. You understand? Hajj is a journeying.
You know what's interesting is that Yosef brought Yaaqub and presented him before Pharaoh. Yaaqub didn't just go and,
No.
he just didn't go to Pharaoh talking about, I'm Jacob.
No, you have to, first of all,
the order and honor.
You have to be brought in.
Yes.
Nobody, you cannot choose, you cannot elect, you have to be brought in. Okay? Once you brought in, then you have to, you can be brought in and it's just you. Depending on who bring you in, it defines your limitation.
Yes.
Okay? Because if you need to bring in others, then you need a special permission to be brought in and then to bring in others beside yourself.
Custom.
There's a custom, there's a tradition. You have to understand. And you have to go through your channel, and you cannot talk outside your channels because this bring about confusion and conflict and contention and jealousy. So when you go talk outside, well, I'm so and so. No, no, no. No talk. I'm just here with my family. Oh, what you doing here? Well, we like farming. We like sheep. That's it. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. End of the story. You have to know how to talk. It's not a free for all. There's a private family matter. We're sorting out family issues. There is a provision for you here. And the same way the tables turned to bring you into the West, it turned the same way to bring you out of the West, out of Mitzrayim. Why? Because that's the way the Most High is. He changed not.
That's right.
He may change the person, he may change the location, but the system
It's the same.
is the same. What the law calls pattern is system. Right? Not that you need a stick or this or this. It works in this way. See? See, I'm exercising wisdom and prudence in front of you so you can see and choose properly. Unlike somebody who wants to crisscross and say this is the doctrine. There is no multiple doctrines, there is only one. All right, continue.
Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life. For in my youth I fled before Saul my brother, and sojourned in a land not my own. And now in the time of my old age have I come down to sojourn here. And my days have not reached the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage.
In their Hajj. Okay, continue.
Okay. And Yaaqub blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph brought his father and brethren to dwell and gave them a possession in the land of Mizraim, in a goodly part of the country, in the country of Pelusim.
Yeah, Pelicin.
Pelicin.
Now you can go look up Pelicin today. Pelicin is on this side of the Nile in the Sinai Peninsula.
Sinai Peninsula. Okay. As Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph sustained his father and his brethren and all his father's house with bread according to the need of their families. You know, check the camera, bro.
So we'll be right back. All righty, we are returned.
You know what I like here in this dynamic is how humble Jakob is to, for him to bless Pharaoh coming into his land, giving him respect, giving him honor, not trying to take over or any of that.
You
He
dumb.
just coming in and say, look, we just want to farm. This is all we want to do. We just want to.
So now the intention of this is to go down into Mitzrayim until the time of the coming out of the West. Now, the Most High cites that these are one in the same. The coming out of the Egypt is the same as the coming out of the West, Mitzrayim. So now you guys don't understand. You have to be gracious and honorable and have integrity in your coming out. You can't come out and be boastful and braggadocious and talking all your business. That's foolishness. You're going to get yourself killed. 1 second. I gotta fix something. All right. So you're gonna get yourself killed. All right. And there's nobody to save you. So that's why the most of you who are like that, you're probably not even listening to me and you're not coming. Right? Don't worry, this video is going to be pretty popular after what happens, but you're not going to understand what it is to be here versus what you're going through outside. There'll be two different worlds. You'll appreciate what I say now, then, but it'll be too late for you to save yourself. You will have to endure the pilgrimage, the Hajj, the journeying to try to find me. Okay, so that's where we are. Continue.
But there, and Joseph sustained his father and his brethren and all his father's house with bread, according to the need of their families.
Right. So everybody got as much bread as they needed.
But there was no bread grown in all the land, because the famine prevailed greatly, and the inhabitants of the land of Mizraim failed, and the dwellers in the land of Canaan in presence of the famine.
So Canaan and Mitzrayim, both countries failed, right? In the making, the growing of bread. Okay? That's what it means. So now it's a struggle. Everybody's hungry. People are dying. There is an issue. And what happened?
And Joseph collected all the money which was found in the land of Mizraim and in the land of Canaan for the corn which he sold to them. And Joseph brought the money into the treasure house of Pharaoh.
So now I know you guys heard this verse and I know you missed it. So he consumed with his transaction and with this plan, not only the land of Mitzrayim to unite the nation that had many smaller countries. You had southern Egypt, you had northern Egypt, you even had Libya was a part of Egypt. But now the Egyptian empire stretches and consumes all the land of Canaan.
All through food.
All through food. So he has from the Persian Gulf all the way to Libya, and then from the Mediterranean Sea down, you know what I'm saying, down to like Ethiopia.
All through food.
All through food. And it's all now the Egyptian kingdom. All through food. So he has consumed up all of this from food and selling food. So now you will see now when they come out, after the nation has collapsed or imploded from the plagues, Pharaoh appoints princes all over his kingdom, intendants, managers, like he just did with them in Goshen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Give me a manager and I send my sheep over here, they take care of them, and give me. I'm Pharaoh. I got this. He's presiding. This is of benefit to you and of benefit to me. You're doing this? Here. Now he's going to do the same thing and spread these people throughout Canaan because he has taken the money out and land in exchange for food. And people will sell you anything when they're hungry enough. Yeah, what you want? This? Here you go, man. Give me a sandwich. I'm hungry. So now you understand this mechanism of how the Egyptian empire grew under Joseph and how much land they had under their dominion. And so Pharaoh put his sons and aligned them with the sons of Og over this land. All right, continue.
And the money was finished from the land of Mizraim. Money finished. And from the land of Canaan. And the mystery came to Joseph, saying, Give us bread. Why should we die before thee? For all our money is finished. And Joseph said, Give your flocks, and for your flocks I will give you provisions.
So notice when the money ran out, the resources behind the money were taken as well. It's the same thing that's going to happen to you. Your money will become worthless, then all of a sudden the things that you need and the things that you use become valuable. When that becomes consumed up, then you'll take whatever else you have. You'll see.
If the money be consumed. And they brought their cattle to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread for their horses, and for the flocks of sheep, the oxen, and the asses, and he sustained them with bread for all their flocks for that year. And that year being ended, all the misery came to him in the second year. And said to him, We will not hide it from my master, that the money is finished, and my master hath the flocks of cattle. There is nothing left us before my master except our bodies and our land.
See? So he took the money. Once he got the money from them, he took the flocks. Once he got the flocks from them, he took the land. Now all the land is consumed by him, just like I said. So now, how do you get your wealth back? If you have to work because you have your bodies and you got money, you get your money back. First thing you're going to have to do is buy back your what? Your land. Then you have to use the land, grow yourself up, and get back your flocks and herds. Now you are back where you were after the catastrophe. Okay, next.
Why should we die and your eyes seeing it? Both we and our land also. Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants of Pharaoh, and give the seed of corn that we may live and not die, and the land be not desolated. And Joseph bought all the land of Mizraim for Pharaoh. For the mystery sold every man his portion, because the famine prevailed over them, and the land became the property of Pharaoh. And the people of a province he removed to a city, and the people of the city he removed to a province, for the sake of the brethren of Joseph, that they might not be called wanderers. Therefore he made them migrate from one end of Mizraim to the other. Only the land of the priests he bought not, because they had considered him innocent at the time when his master was seeking to put him to death, and they had delivered him from the judgment of death. And besides, he has said, that a portion should be given them from Pharaoh. So they ate the portion which Pharaoh gave them and sold not their land.
So again, now this is Joseph giving Pharaoh advisement and providing a portion for Levi according to what his law states, that he have a portion and then they could just eat off of that portion. Right? They don't have the fullness of the law, but they got a little something. A little bit. Okay? So he's also moving provinces and cities so that the brethren is not wanderers. They moving on Pharaoh's orders because they have to move with the flocks. So we here, then we move there. We move here, then we move here. We move here, we move to the next location because the sheep only going to graze but so much.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to let the grass grow back. It's going to take time. You can't, they're not sitting there. All right? So continue.
And Joseph said to the people, Behold, I have this day bought you and your land for Pharaoh. Behold, I give you seed corn to sow the land. And at that time of the ingathering of your produce, you shall give the fifth part to Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be yours, for the seeding of your land, and for food, and for provision for your houses and little ones. And they said, You has preserved us.
We survived, preserved. So now Pharaoh receives his 20% portion. Continue.
Let us find favor in the eyes of our master, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. And Joseph established it a law unto this day over the land of Mizraim, to take to Pharaoh a fifth part of the produce, except only the land of the priests, which was not Pharaoh's.
You see?
And Israel dwelt in the land of Mizraim, and they built their schools and mansions in the land of Goshen.
They built mansions.
They built mansions
They built schools.
and schools.
And they built mansions. So they kept charge of their own education and their own housing. So it doesn't matter how big the family is. We built huge houses so that we can keep giving birth. So when they show you these little huts, oh, it's little like this, they lying. Because if you come over here and look how these people build, it's different.
Very different.
I mean, even the old buildings is huge. Okay, continue.
And inherited therein fields and vineyards, and they increased and multiply greatly. They had fields and vineyards, and they increased and multiplied. And Yaaqub lived in the land of Mizraim 17 years. And the sum of the days of Yaaqub, of the days of his life, was 147 years.
147 years. Not to mention, this minus jubilees, but 147 years, but there's also the added jubilee years. Okay? Just to give y'all an understanding on time. So it's 147, then plus the jubilees that passed. Okay? But if you count in his years, you don't count the jubilees, so he's younger.
And the days of Israel drew near to die, and he called to his son, to Joseph, and said to him, If now I have found favor before you, Put your hand on the place of my circumcision and deal with me in goodness and truth.
Okay? So now this is not anything perverted. Okay? He will place his hand on the father's thigh. It's in this area. He will not touch his father's shame. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Even though the shame is handled when you're doing the circumcision, he don't need to handle it,
Mm-hmm.
juggling anything. You know what I'm saying? It's not what's going on here.
That thou will not bury me in Mitzrayim, that I may sleep with my fathers, and you mayest carry me from Mitzrayim and bury me in their sepulchre.
Oh,
They had a sepulchre.
so now this is him saying, don't bury me here. Take, after I am passed, swear to me this, you take my body and put it in the sepulchre of my fathers, which is why Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob buried right here. Right here. There's only one sepulchre for them. It is right here.
But because he was his son, he did not so put his hand, but said, I will do according
Told you.
to your word.
Told you. I'm not. No. I'm not. That's not appropriate. Told you.
And he said, swear to me. And he swore to him. And immediately the glory of the Shekinah of Yahweh was revealed to him, and Israel worshiped upon the pillow of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And after these things it was told Yosef, behold, your father is lying ill. And he took his two sons with him, Manasseh and Ephraim.
Mm-hmm.
And it was announced to Jacob, saying, behold, your son Joseph hath come to you. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said to Joseph, Allah Shadid revealed himself to me at Luz, in the land of Canaan, and blessed me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, behold, I will increase thee and multiply thee, and make thee an assemblage of tribes.
No, I make you an assemblages of people. No, he said tribes, meaning there is a tribal community. You have to learn again to live in tribalism. And you don't know how to live in a tribe until you've lived in a tribe. I spent 8 years living in a tribe and I love it. I'm doing it again. This time I have to help you get through, some of the bumps and bruises, right? My name in the land is Gidon Habedui, Gidon the Bedouin, because I lived in the tribe. I liked tribal living. I lived in a tribe. So you have to come and become a tribe. You can't be a tribe in the city.
And all scattered all around the world. And I will give this land to your sons after you for an everlasting inheritance. And now, your two sons who have been born to thee in the land of Mizraim, before I came to you into Mizraim, are mine. Ephraim and Manasseh, as Reuben and Shibeon, shall be reckoned unto me.
So now he's saying these two is reckoned to him like Reuben and Manasseh, like Reuben
Shimon.
and Shimon, right? So now They are whole tribes receiving a whole portion. Reuben, the firstborn, right? So he says, I'm taking these. Firstborn, secondborn, like this. Okay, so now see what else you're going to get from this, because being a firstborn comes with certain benefits. Let's see.
And the children, and your children, whom you may have beget after them, shall be thine. By the name of their brethren shall they be called in their inheritance.
So now let's take a notice. This is the custom and tradition that I said before. Ishmael born first, and all the other brethren, though they have a family name, they are called after this as a tribe. Right?
Yes, sir.
So now Ephraim and Manasseh are tribes. Why? Because he's replacing two he lost. Which two tribes he lose? What are you talking about? Right? There must be 12. Right? There must be 12. So which two he lose? Well, he lost Lawi. He not counted among the 12. So that take it from Joseph, Levi, Reuben, Judah, blah, blah, blah. Now you lose one. You're down to 11. Okay? Then he lose Joseph because he sold into slavery. He sold into the hands of Pharaoh. So now he lose 2. He only have 10. I take these 2 now as mine, and any other children you have from out of this, you can go ahead. So the Most High may account a son from the family line unto another or another. You see that?
Yes.
And the rest of the sons, you can be Ephraim, you can be Manasseh, yeah. You can be Yusuf, you can be whatever. But these 2 is tribes. These 2 is, and according to this judgment, it stands. All right, we'll be right back. So according to Jacob's judgment, it stands. You think because Jacob dead, this judgment is over? No, you want this judgment, but you don't want all the rest of them? You got to take it all, Doc. You tripping. So let's take a look.
And I beseech you to bury me with my fathers.
Okay, so he wants to get buried with his fathers.
Rael died by me suddenly in the land of Canaan, while there was yet much ground to come to Ephrath. Nor could I carry her to bury her in the double cave, but I buried her there in the way of Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. And Israel looked at the sons of Joseph and said, from whom are these born to you? And Joseph answered his father, they are my sons, which the word of Yahweh gave me according to this writing, according to which I took Asenath, the daughter of Dinah, your daughter, to be my wife. And he said, bring them now near to me, and I will bless them. Wow. But Israel's eyes were heavy.
So, I got this highlighted.
Yeah.
So this Dinah's daughter from what happened with Shechem. And now you have this Asenath, and she's married to Joseph. See?
And then he blesses them because she's in the family.
In the family. So continue.
But Israel's eyes were heavy from age, and he could not see. And he brought them to him, and he kissed them and embraced them.
So the same way Israel blind now in Egypt, you blind in Egypt. But you can reverse the process in the coming out.
And you as well can see that the blessing of the inheritance only goes to the family.
This is the family. There's not everybody.
It's not everybody.
Everybody else blessed with being preserved. They're not blessed with portion. They have their portions. We cannot go out of our portion. So I'm glad you make that clear, because this is an important point.
Yeah.
Everybody else will be blessed with preservation. However, they are not blessed with the possessions. The possessions are ours, and we cannot go out of the possession. They have their possessions, whether it be dried up or whatever. It is what it is. You'll be blessed with preservation in service. First, we take the money, then we take the cattle, then we take the land, then we redivide the land according to how it is appointed.
And as well as we see, he made it very clear to ask where those children came from. So as you always been saying, you must get the daughters of Zion first.
Yeah, you got to be daughters from the house. You
to
gotta
receive the inheritance.
So now Joseph is being blessed in the redemption of Dinah's daughter.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? Dinah sinned. This daughter is an innocent. Okay? And you say Dinah sinned. What you mean? Well, she went inquiring.
Yes, she did.
This is the sin. What happened to her in the inquiry is not right.
Right.
But the sin of inquiry does not result in the child to be killed. So this daughter has to be brought back in. Proper. So now this is the redemption process. One, now Joseph, and now what comes from him is the what? Third generation.
Which that's stated in the law.
Redemption. Okay? So Joseph does his redemption, law, and now the son's about to receive their blessings.
And Israel said to Joseph, to see your face I have not reckoned, but behold, Yah hath also showed me your sons. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees and worshipped on his face upon the ground. And Joseph took both of them, Ephraim on his right side, which was Israel's left, and Manasseh on his left side, which was Israel's right, and brought them to him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon the head of Ephraim, though he was the younger, and his left hand upon the head of Manasseh, altering his hands, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, Yah, before whom my fathers Ibrahim and Isaac did serve, the Yah who have fed me since I have been unto this day. Be pleased that the angel whom thou didst ordain for me to redeem me from all evil may bless the children, and let my name be called upon them, and the names of my fathers Ibrahim, and Isaac. And as the fishes of the sea, in multiplying are multiplied in the sea, so may the children of Yosef be multiplied abundantly in the midst of the earth.
So
Yes.
now you see where the birthright is going, and the children of Yosef is called the house of Israel. This where this come from.
So that's for Joseph's house.
That's Joseph's house, and anybody want to be in or under it. This the house of Joseph. However, I'm of the house of Yada of Judah. Where you get?
That you are of Israel.
Where's Hebrew anything?
Yeah, because Israel is only for Joseph's house. It's not for all the sons.
So Israel's name spread across this half tribe and this half tribe. When they together, this the house of Joseph. They're the only ones called after this tribal designation. If you want to go under them, of course you can be called that too. Continue.
And Joseph saw that his father placed his right hand upon Ephraim's head, and it was evil before him, and he uplifted his father's hand to remove it from off the head of Ephraim, that it might rest on the head of Manasseh. And Joseph said to his father, "Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Lay your right hand on his head." But his father was not willing and said, "I know, my son. I know that he is the firstborn, and also that he will be a great people and will also be multiplied. Yet will his younger brother be greater than he, and his sons be greater among the nations." And he blessed them in that day, saying, "In thee, Joseph, my son, shall the house of Israel bless their infants in the day of their circumcision, saying, Yah set thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh, and in the numbering of the tribes, the prince of Ephraim shall be numbered before the prince of Manasseh, and he appointed that Ephraim should be before Manasseh." Interesting.
So there's the switch.
There's a switch, yes.
Okay? There is two selections. There is birthright, he's the first, and there is choice. When the choice come, the choice come. What you going to do?
And it says,
He placed his hand there. He's like, I know. It is what it is.
"In thee, Joseph, my son, shall the house of Israel bless their infants in the day of their circumcision." Interesting. And Israel said to Joseph, "Behold, my end cometh to die, but the word of Yah shall be your helper and restore you to the land of your fathers."
So now I want you to understand this, right? So when you talk about, okay, the circumcision, right? This done on the 8th day. Do you know that in my tablets is the circumcision also unto Joseph?
Really?
Yeah, my tablets that I carry, they say Abur Shebet Yosef. which is for the tribe of Joseph, to bring them back under Joseph's covenant and the restoration of him back into the house, because he was sold into slavery. So you have to bring him back out. There has to be a redemption to him, unto him. Which is why the high priest ephod is one way, but the Levite ephod is another.
So that's why with the high priest ephod, he has
All the
Yosef.
Joseph, the birth 12,
Right.
including Levi.
Right. But in the priests, they don't have Levi
They
and
have
that
Ephraim and Manasseh.
Manasseh.
They don't have Levi, they don't have Joseph. You see? So this is a circumcision. My circumcision is not in the loins. My circumcision is of the heart. If you don't have circumcisions in the loin, we give you the old chop chop. Okay? We fix it. But my circumcision is here. The circumcision of the heart.
And it doesn't eliminate the
Circumcision of the loins. It is the consolidation of every covenant, every law, every step in the journey of perfection, in my Hajj, in my pilgrimage. I got to splash around in the deep pool.
Yeah, man. You did.
Not too deep. I went out to 6 feet, enough to tread a little water, get a little deep. Come back out. I'll come back out to the kiddie pool. We just continue reading. Now continue.
And restore you to the land of your fathers.
And restore. So the restoration, right? Until Joseph is restored to the land of his fathers, this problem of being stuck, scattered, and in these captivities remain. So now this is me keeping the instruction of the Lord to restore Joseph back to the land. That's why with Ishmael and them, they're waiting for Yosef to come. Right. Their savior come from Joseph. It's from the tribe of Ephraim. That's who they're looking for when they talk about the Mahdi. But the Mahdi, not yet.
So your responsibility from the house of Yaaqub is to bring us back the sanctuary and build back the ruins of our fathers.
And I have to work the work of peace to recombine, because the house of Joseph happens to still be in the land. So now I have to work us back together. However, it doesn't begin with negotiating with them to accept something. It begins with us changing and just being the people we're supposed to be.
Right, because we ain't been that.
You ain't been that. You ain't even tried.
You ain't that.
Okay? No. So we're going to continue now. Let's go.
Oh, I love this chapter. Also, and Jacob called his sons and said to them, "Purify yourselves."
Wait. Before next.
I'm sorry. And I behold, I have given to thee the city of Shechem, one portion for a gift above your brethren, which I took from the hand of the Amalekite.
Let's go to 48 and 21.
Okay. And Israel said to Joseph, "Behold, my end cometh to die, but the word of Yahweh shall be your helper, and restore you to the land of your fathers. And behold, I have given to you the city of Shechem, one portion for a gift above your brethren, which I took from the hand of the Amori at the time that you went into the midst of it. And I arose and helped you with my sword and with my bow.
So he gave Joseph the city of Shechem, which is modern day Jerusalem. This is Amorite Jerusalem. This Shechem here. So right here. This not Jebusite Jerusalem. There's two. So this is Shechem. Right above a Nablus. Well, below, is it below Nablus? Below Nablus. It's right here. They're all right here. Okay? Because I'm trying to decide. It's above if you come from one direction. It's below if you come from another. In any case, this is a Shechem. All right?
He gave it to Joseph.
That's Joseph's portion. And notice it's on the other side of Jordan in the land. And he's appointing it to him. Nobody taking it from him. You like, you don't like, I don't care. All right? Moving on.
And Yaakub called his son and said to them, purify yourselves from uncleanness, and I will show you the hidden mysteries, the ends concealed, the recompense of reward for the righteous, the retribution of the wicked, and the bower of Eden. What it is.
So if you don't know what the bower of Eden is, you're about to find out. So now we're going to hear Jacob's judgment, and we're going to get the fullness of what, some of these hidden gems and secrets are, which you don't know. Okay? I'm going to make sure we kind of slow down and we get what you need to get out of this. Okay. Continue.
And the 12 tribes of Israel gathered themselves together around the golden bed whereon he reclined, and where was revealed to him the Shekinah of Yahweh, through the end for which the King Mashiach is to come had been concealed from him. Then said he, come, and I will declare to you what shall befall you at the end of the days.
Okay, so now he is telling us, he's talking about what's going to happen to his sons at the end of the days. Okay? He's not even talking about Egypt.
No.
But let's see. Let's go.
Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Yaaqub, and receive instruction from Israel, your father.
Okay, well, gather yourselves together.
Wow.
And hear, you sons of Jacob.
Yeah, that's what he didn't say sons of Israel. He says sons of Jacob.
You sons of Jacob.
And the instruction
from Israel, your father. Okay, okay, let's see what daddy got to say. I'm listening.
Reuben, you are my firstborn, the beginning of the strength of my generation, and the chief event of my thoughts. To you belong the birthright, and the high priesthood, and the kingdom. But because you have sinned, my son, the birthright is given to Yosef, and the kingdom to Yeyada, and the priesthood to Lawi.
See? This is the end of the pronouncement of the Melchizedek order among us.
There's no other after this. This is it. There's no other.
He's the last one. It was Reuben, and they're taken from him and dispersed. It ends.
Right.
So you cannot be two tribes. You cannot share these three elements. You only have a one. And it's saying from the heads of these houses come these principal services. Okay?
And it's in the end of the days.
And that's now.
Yes, now.
So he established it then. That's now. So hi. Okay? I'm your Yadi and I'm your Yadi. You guys met Ali and my sister here. This is Lawi. You meet Yosef when you get here.
Yeah, I found that of Lowy. Yeah.
Okay? They all in my house.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
The house of David.
Yes.
But we're going to continue because you guys, we got to help process
All
some of these thoughts, get y'all minds to reasoning.
I will liken you to a little garden in the midst of which there enter torrents, swift and strong, which it cannot bear, but is overwhelmed. Be repentant then, Reuben, my son, for you have sinned and add not, that wherein you have sinned, it may be forgiven thee. For it is reckoned to you as if you wentest in to have to do with the wife of your father at the time that you didst confound my bed upon which thou wentest up.
So it is reckoned to you as if you did it, but you didn't. So now you stuck working this work of repentance all the way through to the end of your days. So this the end of your warning shot. You cannot come and attempt this or be affiliated with anything further because you already have your strike done. The rest of us, we already got our strike done by being out here in the nations, committing all the other sins, even worse than Reuben. So you in the same boat. Continue.
Shimeon and Lawi are brothers of the womb. Their thoughts are of sharp weapons for rapine.
So if you don't know what that is, let's get the definition of rapine. Their thoughts are for violent seizures
Of someone's property.
of someone's property. Yeah. They sharp. Okay? They're like the sharp end of a sword, for war. So let's see what the Most High want to say to them, what their judgment is.
And they were twins, right?
They're brothers of the same womb. They have the same mother.
Oh, that's what it means, they have the same mother. Okay. Okay, same mother.
And they love each other. They love to be together. So let's hear what the Most High have to say about this.
In their counsel, my soul have not had pleasure. And
Hold on. All right, we are back. Okay, start again. Here we go.
In their counsel, my soul have not had pleasure. And in their gathering against Shechem to destroy it, my honor was not united.
Meaning, I didn't agree to this. We were not united. It wasn't even consulted of me to destroy Shechem.
For in their anger, they slew the prince and his ruler, and in their ill will, they demolished the wall of their adversary. And Yaaqub said, accursed was the town of Shechem when they entered within it to destroy it in their violent wrath. And their hatred against Joseph for it was relentless. If, said Yaaqub, they dwell together, no king. What I gotta get through this?
Go ahead.
No king nor ruler may stand before them.
So you ain't gonna win it. If the whole nation of Lawi and Shimeon got together and formed one people, there's nothing nobody could do with it.
Therefore will I divide the inheritance of the sons of Shimeon into two portions. One part shall come to them out of the inheritance of the sons of Yeada, and one part from among the rest of the tribes of Yaaqub. And the tribe of Lawi I will disperse among all the tribes of Israel.
So Shimeon have a central portion and every other tribe attached to it.
Okay.
Right? So they have a portion, but it's like it's a part of all the other tribes' land. Right?
Okay, so Shimeon has a central portion.
He has a central portion, and so there's one part over in Judah, right? And then there's another part with the other tribes, but it's like centralized, like it's connected so that they can do business, but they know they're on their brother land really, but it's their portion. So he's mixing them up because they're no good. He's a mix them like like this. I fix you. And you, Lowy, I fix you too.
That is funny. He know his sons. He know them. And this is the end of the days.
Yeah, oh, listen. That's what it's going to be. I'm telling you. You'll see. Watch.
Yeada, thou didst make confession in the matter of Tamar.
Oh, no. And Levi.
Oh, and Levi, I will disperse among all the tribes of Israel.
He don't have no land portion. He just can live among his brethren on some little small property. You know, he gets a property.
Yeah.
It's a nice property. You know, you get a little acre. You know what I'm saying? You get a little dunham. You know? They have a little land. They can farm. They got little sheep. There's an apportioning, but it ain't, they won't get a country. All right? So continue. Here we go.
Okay, so Lawi has no country. Oh my goodness. All because of Shechem. What happened in Shechem?
That's what it is.
And Yeada, thou didst make confession in the matter of Tamar. Therefore shall your brethren confess you, and shall be called Yeyadim from your name. Your hand shall avenge you of your adversaries in throwing arrows upon them when they turn their backs before you. And the sons of your fathers shall come before you with salutations. So they are called Yahudi. Yadis.
Yadi. He's a Yadi.
Yadi.
Tell you, it's one thing Jamaica got right.
Yes. Yeah.
One. Forget everything else.
They got that one.
Yadi, they got right.
Yes.
Continue.
I will liken thee, my son Yeada, to a whelp, the young of a lion. For from the killing of Yosef, my son, you didst uplift my soul. And from the judgment of Tamar, you was free. He dwelleth quietly in strength as a lion, and as an old lion when he reposes, who may stir him up.
Not nobody with no good sense.
Kings shall not cease, nor rulers from the house of Yeyada, nor seraphim teaching the law from his seed, till the time that the king, the Messiah, shall come, the youngest of his sons, and on account of him shall the peoples flow together.
So now he says the teachers of his seed and seraphim, they won't cease till this time.
Till the king comes.
Right? So now
King's here.
you all can see.
The king's here.
Wait, no, because they don't understand. It says, what's the sign that he gave? He says he will cause you to flow together with the peoples. This flow together is from Isaiah chapter 60.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Ephah.
Yeah.
I told Ephah, not Ephah. Ephah is Hawalad. It's called the son. But they give him, is the son. He's like Ephah. Because there's Ephah and Ephah. Nobody named their son Ephah. It's Ephah and it's Hawalad. And he causes what? We can flow together.
What you've been saying.
In oneness.
From day one. Have been saying, so now you see the sign.
So this now you know which is the end of the days. You have the opportunity to come and flow together. We here, there's Ammon, there's Moab.
Look,
I love them. We in peace.
It doesn't say that King Mashiach will die. Die for the sin, does it? No, it says they will
you to flow together.
So there's supposed to be some flow in here.
Right, flow.
Flowing.
You see how I flow?
Yeah.
I get along with
everybody. Yes.
Listen, Ammon, Moab, Bedouin, Ishmaeli, everybody. We flowing. All the brotherhood, we together. Saudi, everybody is together.
Except for them.
Except for you. You outside. I'm sitting here trying to bring you in. You fighting me. You wrestling. No, I want to be Israelite. No, I'm not the Israelite.
No.
First of all, this is reserved unto Joseph.
Right.
This is unto him. It's not unto everybody.
For us, it says Yahudian.
No, but that's even that. I am Itzaki. What's my tribe? Itzaki.
Right.
I'm Itzaki.
Yes.
Because of my father's house. So you see Ishmaeli, Itzaki. Same.
Yeah.
Right? Now, okay, you Itzaki. Which branch? Oh, from here, I jump over Yaaqub. Jump him. And I say, oh, I am Yadi.
Yes.
What? Is what he asked for? What you want me to do? I cannot break it. He gave his name to this one. Everybody else called by the house of their father. I am Yadi. What you want? From Yadi. Which house you in? Oh, this is my family name. I am Ephrati. I'm from Beit Lachem. Ephrata, where Rachel buried. You don't know where this is because you don't live here. You only go see the false white people and they put up a sign and you believe. Like the whole land in one space. You don't even know that. Job, since Job lived in the Garden of Eden, you know where Job buried? He buried in Oman. Nobody's talking to you anymore. I'm done. Let's forget the geography lesson because you guys, you won't even use Google Maps to Google what I'm talking about. Continue.
How beauteous is the King, the Mashiach, who will arise. Oh, you're beauteous. You're beauteous.
Whatever.
It's a joke. Who will arise from the house of Yeyada? He hath girded his loins and descended and arrayed the battle against his adversary. Slaying kings with their rulers. Neither is there any king or ruler who shall stand before him. The mountains become red with the blood of their slain. His garments, dipped in blood, are like the outpressed juice of grapes. Farming. How beautiful are the eyes of the King Mashiach. Pat your eyes. As the pure wine. He cannot look upon what is unclean. Now that is the truth. You have a problem looking at the unclean. That is the truth. Nor on the shedding of the blood of the innocent. Yes. And his teeth purer than milk. Can I eat that which is stolen? You have to understand this. This is how he is. Oh, I wish Jacob was here. Oh, she can confirm what we're saying. Stolen or torn, and therefore his mountains. Man owns the mountain. Literally are red with wine, and his heels white. Yeah, he's got heels too. With corn and with the coats of flocks. Yeah, he's got some sheep too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen it. Yeah. Oh boy, that was a true description.
Yeah, I mean, they know because like I got a real limited food. I can eat all food, right? All good food. But the moment I be like, no, not this. No, I don't eat this. This, oh no. No, not this. No. Go get some pizza. Bring the pizza. What? We brought lamb and butter. No.
Pizza.
This lamb is a no good. This a burger? Oh no, I don't eat this. It's wrong. Cannot eat. Never mind.
He cannot look on anything that is unclean. Can't look at it. No, he can't.
You can do what you want to. I'm not doing it. My social media be dry. What? No. Block. Finish this. No, not lawful.
Nor on the shedding of. Oh, we got to establish judgment. Let's sit down. Let's see what all the evidence said, and
then we determine.
Then we'll determine. Oh no, innocent. No, guilty. This is all the time.
All the time.
You can't help yourself.
Notice he don't mention the beard, right?
No, but you're beauteous. So if you want to know what beauteous look like, beautiful eyes. See?
This is the traditional look. Me, my teacher, the pure blood, we look like this. I know you don't think this sexy. This is the look of the indigenous. Token beard. But if you want somebody with big, rich, full beard, we have this in Lawi. You can look at Ali. He have it.
Yes.
But that's okay. This is beauteous. Oh.
And he does have a mountain. Literally.
All right, moving on. Zebulun.
Zebulun shall dwell upon the banks of the sea and have dominion over the havens. He will surmount the breakers of the sea with ships, and his border will extend unto Zidon.
So now you see what I told you?
Yes,
I said, when we get the ship imported,
that will be Zebulun.
Zebulun gonna run this.
Yes.
This is his portion of stick it here.
Yes.
Now why people get mad when I say this? Even though he have another land border and another land inside, on that side of the Jordan, this is the organization.
Yes. Issachar.
So hold on. So you have to understand this. There's two separate organizations of the land. The one for one side of Jordan and the other one for the other side. Moses dealt with the other side that he worked on.
Yes.
Jacob is talking about the side that he worked on. Everybody discussing this and this side is like this. I designate this like this. And that side like this. This is how I said it like this. Okay?
Yes.
So
Issachar is an ass in the law, a strong tribe, knowing the order of the times, and he lieth down between the limits of his brethren.
Okay, so he have his land portion. It's also an inner land portion.
And he saw the rest of the world to come, that it is good, and the portion of the land of Israel, that it is pleasant. Therefore, bow he his shoulders to labor in the law, and unto him shall come his brethren bearing presents.
All right, yes, indeed.
From the house of Den, there is to arise a man who will judge his people with the judgment of truth. All the tribes of Israel will hearken to him together.
Okay.
A chosen man shall arise from the house of Den, like the basilisk, which lieth at the dividing of the way, and the serpent's head, which lurketh by the way, that biteth the horse in his heel, and the master from his terror is thrown backward. Even thus will Samson Bar Manabach slay all the heroes of Philistia, the horsemen and the foot. He will hamstring their horses and hurl their riders backwards.
So this is about Samson and what he did. Next is
Okay, so this was about
so that's the first one.
Wow. When Yaaqub saw Gideon bar Joash and Shimshon bar Manabach, who were established to be deliverers.
Established to be also Mashiachs in their days.
Yes. He said, I expect not the salvation of Gideon, nor look I for the salvation of Shimshon. For their salvation will be the salvation of an hour, but your salvation have I waited it, and will look for, O Yah, for your salvation is the salvation of eternity.
Oh, so he's looking for the salvation of Yah when Yah comes and brings down all the nations, destroying them. Would you in them or not? Right? Thereby driving you out of the lands of your captivity. Hopefully, you don't die in the next land which you go to, because that's the land of purging. You will ultimately end up in the sanctuary, the safe place. But you don't believe what I'll be talking about. No problem.
The tribe of God with the rest of the tribes will, armed, pass over the streams of Arnona and subdue before them the pillars of the earth. And armed will they return into their limits with much substance and dwell in peace beyond the passage.
All right. So, with much substance,
And dwell in peace beyond the passage of Jordan. For so will they choose, and it will be to them to receive their inheritance.
so this tells you now the tribe of God,
God.
and that their land is on the other side of Jordan. And it's through the passage. They go to the other side. They're over in Saudi area. And they get theirs how they live. They get it how they get it. It got nothing to do with me. I'm going to mind my business. When they say the time has come up for us to go and get it, go get it. I'm going to let them. Next.
Happy is Ashur, whose fruitage is plenteous, and whose land aboundeth in balsams and costly perfumes.
All right. He'd like to smell good. That's going to be my man right there.
Yeah, fragrance man.
I like it. Smell good.
Naphtali is a swift messenger, like a hind that runneth on the tops of the mountains, bringing good tidings. He it was who announced that Yosef was living. He it was who hastened to go into Mizraim and bring the contract of the double field in which Saul had no portion. And when he shall open his mouth and the congregation of Israel to give praise, he shall be the chosen of all tongues.
So Naphtali, that is with the tribe of Ephraim, is going to be the choice language that we speak. What the dialect he speak, the Arabic he speak, this will be the holy tongue. Right? This is Jacob's benediction. This is his judgment. This is it. So I don't care if he come out speaking Quranic Arabic, or he come out speaking Saudi Arabic, or he come out speaking Iranian Arabic, or he come out speaking Aramaic. Whatever he's talking, this is what we're going to accept from him. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me reset the camera. We'll be right back. All righty. Here we go.
Yosef, my son, that you has become great. Yosef, my son, you has become great and mighty. The end determined on you was that you should be mighty. Because you did subdue your inclination in the matter of your mistress and in the work of your brethren, you will I liken to a vine planted by fountains of water, which sendeth forth her roots and overrunneth the ridges of stone, and covereth by her branches all unfruitful trees. Even so, this you, my son Yosef, subject by your wisdom and your good work, all the magicians of Mitzrayim. And when celebrating your praises, the daughters of princes walking on the high places cast before you bracelets and chains of gold, that you should have lift up your eyes upon them. Your eyes you would have not lift up on one of them to become guilty in the great day of judgment.
So he didn't look upon none of the strange or the Egyptian women. He took only the wife of his people. And in Egypt, he sat with that. Right? So when I talk about, hey, listen, we're going to redeem our sisters. We're going to take them. We're going to deal with their issues. Right? They're going to get some act right. They're going to get some talk right. They're going to get some new knowledge, some new information, and a re-education and some new culture. And it will be well with them. And then they have free choice after getting themselves corrected to choose whomever they want. So when I talk about this, right? This is a blessing. It is a judgment because Jacob says so. This is not how you feel.
Right.
Jacob judgment stands today. Next.
And all the magicians of Mizraim were bitter and angry against him, and brought accusations against him before Pharaoh, expecting to bring him down from his honor. They spake against him with the slanderous tongue, which is severe as arrows.
Yeah, slanderous tongue. They spoke against Joseph. I know what that felt like. They do this all the time.
Oh, yes,
It's
sir.
regular.
Oh, yes.
But
sir.
okay.
But he returned to abide in his early strength, and would not yield himself unto sin, and subdue his inclinations.
Subdued his inclinations. Now, when you go all the way back to Genesis, it says, I gave you power to subdue your evil inclinations and walk according to my instructions, my customs, my traditions, which Abraham did. And you see, Joseph demonstrates that in Egypt.
By the strong discipline he had received from Yaaqub.
So this is not discipline as in Jakob beat him up.
No.
But by the strong education and application of diligence to walk in it. This is the strong discipline. Here's what we must do. Let's do it now. Or we must do this in this time. We wait. Tick this the time. Do it. Discipline.
And thence became worthy of being a ruler, and of being joined in the engraving of the names upon the stones of Israel. From the word of Yah shall be your help, and he who is called the all-sufficient shall bless thee with the blessings which descend with the dew of heaven from above, and with the good blessing of the fountains of the deep, which ascend and clothe the herbage from beneath. The breasts are blessed as which you has suckled, and the womb in which you has didst lie. The blessings of your father be added to the blessings wherewith my fathers Abraham and Isaac have blessed me.
So you see the birthright blessing is Abraham, Isaac, Yaaqub, Joseph. That's where it went. You can't get it out now. So let's continue.
And which the princes of the world, Ishmael and Saul, and all the sons of Keturah have desired. Let all these blessings be united and form a diadem of majesty for the head of Yosef and for the brow of the man who became chief and ruler in Mitzrayim, and the brightness of the glory of his brethren. Benjamin is a strong tribe, like the wolf with his prey. In his land would dwell the Shekinah of Yah of the world, and the house of the sanctuary be builded in his inheritance. In the morning will the priest offer the lamb continually until the 4th hour.
4 o'clock.
And between the evenings, the 2nd lamb. And at eventide will they divide the residue remaining of the offerings and eat, every man his portion. All these tribes of Israel are 12. They are all righteous together. And this it is which their fathers spake to them, and blessed them according to their blessings. Blessed be each man. And he commanded them and said to
Now,
them,
you notice when he said they are righteous
just
together.
Yes, sir.
Not scattered.
Got to be together.
Together. Together. Not scattered. You're only blessed, right? They are right, all righteous. You're only righteous when you together. So I'm trying to help you get it together. Resisting me, you're resisting coming together. Well, why we gotta come together on your plan? Because you don't have it. You don't know where it come from for you to even reject it. This is not my idea.
I was about to say, first of all, it's not your plan. You're following the instructions of the plan that's already been established, already been spoken.
This is why I experience little to no failure. It's not my plan. I'm a pretty smart guy, but I'm not this smart. This is an accumulation of advice and wisdoms passed down from beyond me. I'm just smart enough to follow the instructions. You, however, are supposed to be smart enough to follow the person who has the instructions, the wisdom, and the prudence to do it. That's what you're supposed to do. That is it. Minimum requirement. But y'all rather follow a basketball player. A guy who puts a ball in a basket.
And sometimes wear skirts.
I don't even know about that. I'm not even going to get into that.
No,
but you're following other actors and pretenders and everything, entertainers, but you're not, those people are not wise or prudent. They are entertaining.
But they're not wise and prudent.
But they're not wise or prudent. Continue.
And he commanded them and said to them, I am to be gathered to my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cavern which is in the field of Ephron the
Huta.
Huta, in the cave that is in the double field over against Mamre in the land of Canaan. For Ibrahim bought the field of Ephron the Huti for an inheritance of burial. There they buried Ibrahim and Sarah his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rivkah his wife, and there I buried Leah. The purchase of the field and the cave that is in of the sons of
Huta.
Huta. And Yaakov ceased to command his sons. So these are commands.
Hold on. So these is what?
Commands.
These is commands.
These are commands.
It's a command. What you are to be, how you are to be, what you're good at, what you need to do, what you need not be doing, who receives what. So again, being the kingship, it does not exempt me from honoring the birthright. The birthright, the birthright. The beautiful part that I had with living with my teacher is a chosen son. He holds the kingship, right? He's also like the imam, the priest of the family. So, but they have Melchizedek order. So, but his brother maintains and upholds the birthright. Right? When my teacher's brother comes to me, we together, he take me away from my teacher. We together, we sitting together, we eating together, everything. When it came time to give land, it came from him. My teacher have no say. Even he have the rulership, he can only ask the birthright if this was to be, but the birthright, seeing what he saw, exercised the birthright according to what was lawful and right. But he, the birthright, it's in him. So I start to learn how to love the birthright and understand its authority, understand its place, understand where the judgment sits when these things are divided. Kingship, this mostly judgment. What's right, what's wrong, this,
Right. It's not a power trip.
It's not power tripping. Okay? It's judgment. You have to know what's traditional and custom, how we keep it, and everybody have to follow. The birthright have to support the kingship. The priesthood have to support the kingship, and the kingship have to support back. It's a three-way trifecta. There's only three parts. The division of the land according to birthright. He say, what he tell you. According to him, that's it. But your majesty, no, don't hear your majesty. He's the man. He's right there. But I did this and I don't want to do what the priest say. But I have to do what you come to me for. His judgment finished. What he say do, you have to do. What he say see about, you have to see about.
You're splashing in the kiddie pool. Do you need to go back in the deep for a minute?
Go ahead, just finish reading. You finish these commands.
And Yaaqub ceased to command his sons, and he gathered up his feet into the midst of the bed, and expired, and was gathered unto his people. And Joseph laid his father upon a couch of ivory, which was framed with pure gold and inlaid with precious stones and secured with cords of byssus. There they pour out fervent wines, and there burn they most costly perfumes. There stood the chiefs of the house of Saul and the chiefs of the house of Ishmael. There stood the lion of Yeyada, the strength of his brethren. He answered and said to his brethren, Come and let us raise up to our father a tall cedar whose head shall reach to the top of heaven, and its branches overshadow all the inhabitants of the earth, and its roots extended to the depths of the abyss. From it have arisen the 12 tribes, and from it will arise kings, princes, and priests in their divisions to offer oblations, and from it the Levites in their appointments for singing. Then behold, Joseph bowed himself upon his father's face and wept over him and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father, and the physicians embalmed Israel. One thing, brother, just now reading about what Yeyada had done, he mentioned about planting a tall cedar tree. Yeah. Haven't you been telling us over and over, let's plant some trees?
They don't listen to me when I ask for stuff. They waiting for the mystical sky nigga. So just
And
keep reading.
and the 40 days of embalming were completed to him, for so fulfill they the days of embalming. And the mystery lamented him 70 days, saying one to another, Come, let us lament over Yaaqub, the holy, whose righteousness turned away the famine from the land of Mitzrayim. For it had been decreed that there should be 42 years of famine. But through the righteousness of Jacob, 40 years are withheld from Mitzrayim, and there came famine, but for 2 years only. And the days of his mourning passed, and Joseph spake with the masters of the house of Pharaoh, saying, If I may find favor in your eyes, speak now in the hearing of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Behold, I die in the sepulchre which I have prepared for me in the land of Canaan, there shall you bury me. And now let me go up and bury my father, and I will return. And Pharaoh said, Go up and bury your father according as he made you swear. And Joseph went up to bury his father, and all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Mitzrayim went up with him. And all the men of Joseph's house and his brethren and his father's household, only their children and their sheep and oxen left they in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him chariots and horsemen and a very great host. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan. And there they lamented with a great and mighty lamentation. And he made there a mourning for his father 7 days.
So they waited to do the tent until they placed him in the sepulchre that he requested, and they put up the feast tent to feed everybody for 7 days. Now, again, you heard and you read that there was the famine of Israel for 40 something years, but they only saw two. And then you also read that there is a famine and it was for 7 years. Right?
Yes, sir.
So they got the seven, right? They bounced back in two, right? They begin to come back. Where'd the 40 go? Is this prophecy void?
No, that
No, it's
means this
getting ready to
today.
come.
It's for today, the
It's for
40
today.
years.
So
Yeah.
now you're going to come here and you're going to go through this and you're going to abide there and go through this process coming out. And then you'll see it's going to be completely uninhabited for 40 years. The Egyptians will be in the land with us. And after that time, they will go back to their land. Okay? By that time, before they come, because they're going to come, you'll see it, they'll come after the 40 years that I have told you for the regathering of the children of Israel to get into our land to take a possession. They have to come into our possession. You're going to see it then. But you don't believe me. Okay, wait. We'll see.
Quick question. It says in verse 3, and the 40 days of embalming were completed.
Right. So
Is that part of our custom, or is that the custom of
that was the custom of the Egyptians. They had a 40-day embalming period.
Okay.
So he honored him because you have to understand they sold him into slavery. He's in Egypt. In Egypt, he has learned some things, and he wants to honor his father with the type of honor and burial that is given to the pharaohs as they pass.
Right.
So he is buried like an Egyptian. He is not buried in our traditional and custom and way. So they did the embalming. They made him a sepulcher, a sarcophagus. They did his thing, and they put him right over here. So continue.
And the inhabitants of the land of Canaan beheld the mourning at the threshing floor of Atad, and they loosed the girdles of their loins in honor of Yaaqub, and spread forth their hands and said, This is a mighty mourning of the Mitzri. Therefore he called the name of the place Abal Mitzrayim, which is on the other side of Jordan. And his sons did for him as he had commanded them. But when his sons had brought him into the land of Canaan, and the thing was heard by Saul the wicked, he journeyed from the mountain of Jabalah with many legions and came to Hebron, and would not suffer Joseph to bury his father in the double cave. Then forthwith went Naphtali, and ran and went down to Mitzrayim, and came in that day, and bought the instrument that Saul had written for Yaaqub his brother in the controversy of the double cave. And immediately he beckoned to Hushim, the son of Den, who unsheathed the sword and struck off the head of the wicked Saul. And the head of Saul rolled into the midst of the cave and rested upon the bottom of the bosom of Isaac his father. And the sons of Saul buried his body in the double field, and afterward the son of Yaaqub buried him in the cave of the double field, in the field which Ibrahim bought for inheritance sepulchre of Ephron the Huti, who against Mamre.
So that's how the sepulchre of Esau is over here too. So this is what happened. All right. How much more we got? We got a little bit more
up to
before we get to
26.
Exodus. But at this point, this is a good closing point. We'll be back tomorrow. One step at a time, one day at a time. Okay? We are now, tomorrow, we will finish up the last few verses and go into the Exodus.
Tick tock, tick tock.
All right. That's it.